From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Cincinnati Bengals. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Set, 19, you, 31, 51.
On first down, it's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Out of the gun, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 36.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Forced out to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Geno Atkins able to record his 5th sack of the season. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Being chased out left. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
Back.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Steps away, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Watson now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. 2nd down and inches. He finds his running back, Mixon. A Bengal 1st down on the 16-yard pickup there.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a 2nd guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Here we go. Here we go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Bengals grab it. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
him. No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Mike 51. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our
2nd and 14. He completes it to Boyd. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center.
Okay, Coach. Well, with the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Cincinnati Bengals. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Strip that ball. SOS. Tight dog.
Watson on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
But we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Watson. And Stills bringing it in. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Third and long. It's Watson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but and they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And he spins past him and into space. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Tighten up. Showing it. Joker, 24.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. Room to run again. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
To throw is Watson. Flushed out right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
You go take. You got take. You got take right there. It's three.
They'll try the air now with Watson. Screenplay, Johnson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They'll run it with Johnson. Call it 6, maybe 7, but now they're left with 4th down and goal. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And Hopkins' kick is good. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go,
There's a hush indeed. Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills, and that'll bring up 2nd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And that's complete to Cooks. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Here's Watson, forced out to his left. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's second and 10 now from about the 32.
Check 99. Alert, alert.
To throw is Watson. To throw again. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big time.
Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Check 13. Check 37.
Oh, how about this on first and goal? Looking for a seam.
Leads to second and goal.
Another shot from the 9 on second and goal.
He's coming.
From the gun, a run for Johnson. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Check 6. Check 43. No.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
Watch the ship.
They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. And a loss of 3 to bring up fourth.
An interesting and intriguing decision there.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. 2nd and 2. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 5 yards is the